So soil biology related to nutrient cycling. So the microbes break down that organic matter, converting it into simpler compounds, releasing nutrients in a plant available form, and then in exchange, carbon dioxide is given up. So we have immobilization of nutrients. Nutrients are tied up by a plant, and microbial uptake, increase in biomass through carbon capture from the atmosphere. So we have a pool of inorganic compounds and compounds of living bodies. So immobilization is those nutrients going into, say, a living plant, and then once that plant dies, mineralization is that compound moving from the plant material being decomposed and cycled back around into the inorganic compound. So that's the immobilization mineralization cycle at the bottom of the screen here. One of our most limiting nutrients or essential elements that's often talked about is nitrogen. So nitrification is ammonium NH4 to nitrite NO2 by nitrosomonas, nitrite to nitrate, so NO2 to NO3 by nitrobacters. Plants prefer to uptake nitrate. However, the nitrate is easily leached. So we don't want a lot of our nitrogen in the nitrate form because that'll move down out of the rooting zone into groundwater or flushed out into surface water. And so this nitrogen cycle is always going on. There's always nitrogen in different stages, but we also need to try to understand it to make sure that we are managing in a sustainable way, promoting growth when we need it. At the bottom here are some other organisms that make their own food using sulfur or ammonium or other elements instead of nitrogen as the electron acceptor. So denitrification then is our nitrate, so our NO3 going to N2, and then this is lost as a gas to the atmosphere. It's important because nitrogen as a gas is a very effective greenhouse gas, so obviously we want to decrease the amount of nitrogen gas in our atmosphere right now. And then also, when you lose that from the soil, obviously it's not plant available then. Anaerobic conditions, so again, conditions where we have a decreased oxygen level. About 10% of the nitrogen is lost due to denitrifying bacteria. So one of the reasons why anaerobic conditions are harmful for plant growth is we have a higher rate of denitrification and a loss of nitrogen from the soil. So again, nitrogen fixation comes from lightning or free-living bacteria, Azotobacter, or symbiotic bacteria, so Rhizobia or Frankia, different symbiotic relationships with plants that are able to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere into the soil. So here's the complete nitrogen cycle. We have our N2 in the atmosphere being fixed by either lightning or bacteria, and then some of that is then denitrified and lost to the atmosphere. Some of that goes into plants and is decayed and cycled back around. And again, there's nitrogen at every stage at all times. We'll talk more about plant nutrients in a later video. This was just a brief introduction into the nitrogen cycle and the importance of the bacteria in this cycle.